We got a new one. Commenter of the week. Just the level of dumb shit that you read. This was the best one. So there was some video, right, of this arrogant asshole in a store, and he's not going to wear a mask. And the guy's like fucking 60. He's got a ponytail, so he's a rebel, man, right? And I don't mean he's like a biker ponytail, like somebody with some bodies and some sexual assault in his background. This is just some fucking guy who never cut his hair and felt like that was his big rebellion against capitalism and whatever, right? So I'm judging him. Of course I'm judging, right? So he's fucking just sitting there going, you're too young to understand. This is what the Nazis did. That's what the Nazis did? This is what the Nazis did. Telling people to wear masks so they won't get sick. Trying to save lives. That's what the Nazis did? It's not what the Nazis did. They branded a segment of people, not all the people, a segment of the people. Then they gradually worked them out of the population and exterminated them. That's what they did. They didn't say, hey, everybody, if you can, please try to stay 6 feet away. Please, you have to wear a mask when you're in a store. Could you please do that? I know it's hard with surround sound and a flat screen TV to walk out of your house and put on a fucking mask that some poor bastard who works in a sweatshop makes 30 cents a month fucking made. It's so fucking hard to put that thing on, right? So anyway, so people, rational people are like, dude, just put on a fucking mask. Put on a mask, buy your dumb aspirin or another band for your stupid fucking ponytail. You're so goddamn old, your hair, when you get so old, your hair looks like shredded wheat. It just hasn't seen conditioner since, I don't know, Herbert Hoover, right? So everybody's saying, wear a mask. And then all of these fucking, hey, man, I really know what's going on in the world. People start commenting. And this was my favorite one. Everyone was going like, oh, you're a sheep, you're this, you're that, you're a globalist, stay asleep. Like these fucking people know shit, right? Comment of the week. Somebody goes, all you have to do to know what's going on is watch that movie V for Vendetta. That's all I have to do? That's amazing. I thought I would have to have a friend in the CIA who for some reason has a couple of Shirley Temples and gets a little loose-lipped, and then maybe then I could find out what was going on. Evidently, I don't need friends in that level of high places who can't keep their fucking mouth shut. I just have to watch a Hollywood movie called V for Vendetta. And these are the same fucking people that say Hollywood, everybody out here, a bunch of pedophiles drinking baby blood and all of that shit. But at the same time, if you make a conspiracy theorist fucking movie that lines up with their dumbass shit, all you have to do is watch V for Vendetta. I didn't know that. And I got to tell you, this has been one of the most frustrating, confusing fucking periods of the year. And I don't know what streaming service has V for Vendetta, but I'm going to watch it so I understand what's going on. I got it. So I don't listen to doctors. I watch a Hollywood movie. Some of the commenters, Jesus Christ. I saw this thing on, was it Gloria Vanderbilt, Anderson Cooper's mother, right? And I didn't know the whole backstory. I just knew, he was, I'm like Anderson Cooper, the fucking little rich kid, blah, 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 doing the usual bullshit, right? I didn't realize that her son, I can't remember if I talked about this in the podcast yet. Her son, Anderson Cooper, had a brother, and the kid unfortunately committed suicide, jumped from the 14th floor of their apartment building in front of their mother. And immediately I was just like, oh my God. Oh my, like how do you ever get past that and all of this stuff? Did I talk about this? I can't remember. Whatever. I'll talk about it again in case you missed the last podcast. So in the comment sections, right? The fucking level of meanness, they go in like, you can tell she was a devil worshiper. You can tell by the picture behind her. Talking about why Anderson Cooper is gay, going, that's what happened to you breastfeed kids too long. Because she was a devil worshiper. This is why her kid killed himself. And then in all of that fucking astoundingly mean, horrific shit, they're writing also, these people need Jesus in their life. And I'm just sitting there like, this is my problem with a higher power. or at least our theory on the higher power, that he made us in his image and he's going to judge us and all that. And it's just like, anybody out there religious, how do you justify that level of mean and just ignorance? Like, is it just always the devil? No, because they actually have the devil. At what point do you look at God and be like, dude, really? Like, you made this. You made these fucking idiots, and now you're going to fucking judge them? It's your work. How about taking a little responsibility? Anyway, so I don't know. And you know, conversely, on the other side, with this whole blaming the government for everything, I'm not even going to sit here for half a second and not entertain the fact that right now, because that there's allegedly this vaccine out there that's going to work, that pharmaceutical companies are not angling and elbowing and bribing fucking politicians and everything for, you know, to be the ones that put it out, to fucking price gouge, you know, how they're going to give it out, who they're going to give it out to. Like, there's not a bunch of fuckery going on. Of course there is. Of course there is. So I just want to reestablish my point here. My point is I can't listen to people who are only blaming the government in this and not looking at fucking idiots in Atlanta all going out to the club and shit, not wearing masks, all going in because they want to go out and get dressed up, and this is my New Year's, this is my right as an American. That bullshit. What has really fucked us on all of this, I think, is we haven't put together a winning streak. All right? We can't even get a 3-game winning streak because people get all fucking, you know, they just, I don't know what it is. They watch V for Vendetta, and they watch that movie, and they listen to that, and they don't listen to doctors. So I don't know, whatever. And then there was a great Donald Trump fucking clip of him talking to another Republican saying, I need to find these votes. And wasn't there tampering with the machines? No, we haven't found that. I mean, inside the machine and all of this shit. And just watching people still denying. And I'm not even saying that Joe Biden would not do something like this. He absolutely fucking would. Absolutely would. Okay, you can't trust an 80-year-old guy with a facelift. You just can't. You cannot. But I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is. So, of course, all Trump people are sitting there going like, well, you know, it's edited. You got to listen to the whole thing. And then people are like, well, here's a link to the whole thing. Go listen to it. And they're not going to listen to it because they don't want to hear it. So, I don't know. This would be like me saying, hey, you know, I think my 7-9 Patriots actually had a good football season. At some point, you got to turn around and be like, look, we didn't get the fucking job done. Okay, you want to talk V for Vendetta? Let's talk about that Eagles game last night, where Giant fans were sitting at home actually whispering, fly, Eagles, fly, because they needed them to win to get into the goddamn playoffs. Playoffs, right? They needed them to get in. And I was like up to my neck with the kiddos at that point during the day, so I was popping in and out. And I know the Redskins came out to an early lead. I know that the Eagles had some sort of quarterback in there that was it Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz? I always forget who the fuck. Those two guys that play on the same team, I can't keep them straight. But that guy wasn't in, and then they had a backup in who was fucking doing great. And at the end of the game, when they were like down by 3 or whatever, they take him out and put some fucking punter in to be quarterback, and they lose the fucking game. Giants don't make the playoffs. Giants would have played the Tom Brady Buccaneers, and then we could watch all the people overhyping the game, acting like this is Tom Brady's chance to get revenge on a Giant team while he's not a Patriot anymore and Eli and Tom Coughlin are gone. And watch them try and shoehorn that fucking thing to be like, but wait, is it the logo? Is that what it is? So we missed out on all of that because they tanked. And then one of my buddies goes, that was the biggest tanking I've ever seen in my life. And then as a Patriots fan, I then had to flip out and be like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. The biggest tanking you're ever going to fucking see. you're ever going to fucking see is when Jim Irsay and the Indianapolis Colts tanked a half a fucking season to get Andrew Luck. They tanked 8 fucking games in a row, or whatever it was, 6 games or something like that. Remember? Peyton Manning, one of the greatest to ever do it. He had that neck problem. He fucking went to Europe. You know, some shit was sent to his house in his wife's name, and he comes back, and he's like, my neck is stronger than ever. And for the first time ever, an owner was like, well, we're really concerned about your long-term health. You know, finally gave a fuck about a player, and they kept him on the bench because he was like in his, 15th fucking year, whatever the hell it was, and they decided that he was washed up, and they're like, and here's this great fucking kid, Andrew Luck, coming out of Stanford, right? Let's go get this guy. And that's what the fuck they did. So, I mean, I don't think that that's the biggest tank. Having said that, something went on there. I don't know.